Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's exciting edition of Zombies on Air. Stephan Futeral was supposed to join us, but we believe that he may have possibly been bitten by zombies on his way back from his supply run. So we'll just have to see if he makes it. We'll be waiting with bated breath to find out. In the meantime, we have Dennis Squared here tonight. We've got Dennis 1, Chef Dennis Littley, and Dennis 2, Dennis Deuce. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. Looking forward to hanging out with Dennis 1.
I'm looking forward to being here with you too, Dennis 2.
I love that zombie cooking team on Chef Dennis's lower third there.
Tonight I'm drinking.
And zombie blood?
What do we have there?
Bloody Mary, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Very appropriate.
Yes.
But it's in the spirit.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I usually go for red wine on the Sunday night, but today I'm going to be taking some red strawberry ale. Kind of stumbled on that maybe a few months ago actually, and really enjoyed it. It's some pretty good stuff. I don't know. I'm not really a beer drinker. I'm more of a wine drinker. So anything that has a lot of nice flavors to it, nice fruity flavors.
Yeah, I take the blame for that. I taught him how to drink most recently.
Yes.
And I'm afraid that I turned him into a bit of a girly drinker.
See, I stopped drinking when I was, I think I was about 20 years old when I stopped drinking, and I didn't start drinking again until I met Carolyn. And so Chef Dennis the other, just I think on Friday or Thursday was commenting about how Carolyn should be nominated for sainthood and that I'm a bad boy.
You are. There's no secret about that.
I say you're a naughty boy.
I'm the good influence.
I call shenanigans on that, and I'm going to prove it today when we get into our topic. Oh man. So with that, actually, Greg, why don't you lead us in to some of our questions of the evening?
All right. Well, zombie hypotheticals, and like the post says, all zombie situations right now, as of current time, are hypothetical. There may be a point in time that might not be hypothetical, or perhaps if we're talking about alternate universe, I'm sure there's probably one that a zombie apocalypse is happening in right now. Now, in one of those universes that is actually hosting a zombie apocalypse, I wonder if there's also a situation where there's like the Incredible Hulk as well. And I wonder if it's possible for the Incredible Hulk to be bitten by a zombie. Because you see when they shoot him, the bullets kind of just bounce off of him. He's not really phased. He doesn't seem to actually sustain cuts. And in human form, they don't really show him getting cut as well. So I wonder if teeth could actually rip through the Incredible Hulk, and if he would actually become a hulked zombie.
Eric. And along with that, what if they built Godzilla?
Godzilla.
That would be scary.
Oh yeah, that'd be, yeah. I don't know.
What if Godzilla got bit by a zombie?
Oh man, well, I mean, if either Hulk zombie or Godzilla zombie would inevitably just destroy. I mean, there would be no possibility of like anyone surviving. I just don't see how it would be possible. Although you might be able to dodge it for a while because it may not even have the comparative intelligence of a zombie. But I mean, I picture movies like World War Z where you saw zombies basically crushing up against to become a pile against the wall and toppling walls in that manner. And I think, how could, if a wall can't stand up to a pile of zombies, how could we possibly have any hope against a monster like that?
Not much.
Like, what strategies could you employ?
I'll send Carl out after him.
Right?
Carl!
Well, what you do is you put a lot of people on a boat and you lure them over the harbor, and then you just drive the boat into the deepest part of the ocean. Godzilla can't swim, or at least I think he can't swim.
I'm not up on my Godzilla mythology. Anybody else?
Somebody else is going to come back and say that he can't swim, I bet.
Cheryl from the Peanut Gallery just said, how do you think he got to New York? Because he went through the tunnel.
So much for that. Was he booked the Queen Mary? I don't know.
Yeah, luxury suite, extra high ceilings.
Yeah, I think he would actually ride the Queen Mary more like a, windsurfer.
Oh,
stand on it.
Yeah. That could work.
Possible.
Could potentially hold out a sail even. Could go some pretty crazy places there. So speaking of crazy places, how about vampires? Greg, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's already too crazy to think of a zombie vampire. But if we really think about the way that vampire mythology and lore works, I think their blood is actually coagulated. So I don't think the virus would spread if a zombie bit a vampire. I think it would actually just kind of shrug it off. Vampires have rapid healing capabilities as well, so I think it would heal through it. Kind of like if Wolverine was bit by a zombie. If Wolverine was bit by a zombie, I don't think it'd be a problem. I think his body would create antibodies, and actually that'd be the best solution to find a cure. Just go hang out with Wolverine during the zombie apocalypse, and if he gets bit, just extract some of his blood and get those antibodies and start injecting people. Everybody's safe from zombie bites now.
Does he still look like Hugh Jackman? Because I'm down.
Right. Right. Who has Hugh Jackman's address? Because if the zombie apocalypse goes down, that's where I'm going.
Oh man. So let's get away from the hypotheticals for a second. I want to ask our guests, Dennis 1, Dennis 2, what are your top zombie survival skills? What would you bring to the table?
If I was out there for helping to survive or for doing away with them?
Either one.
Well, for helping to survive, I can cook just about anything. So I think we might find a new use for some of the zombies. That's all.
Ooh, I'd like to hear more about that. Zombie recipes. Let's get into that.
Zombie stew.
Shake and bake. Zombie shake and bake. It's not Friday shake and bake.
Well, that does bring up an interesting point, though. Would zombie meat be edible? I mean, it is human flesh, and there are documented instances throughout history of cannibalism, of course. So, would eating zombie flesh be likely to transmit the virus to you? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that with how when you cook with wine, you cook it and it kind of cooks off? Do you think that the virus might have that effect if you cooked zombie meat?
I think that's possible because if you think about it, with any other kind of illness, you can pretty much boil it out, and that's what your body actually tries to do when you get sick by raising its temperature. It's trying to kill the invading illness, and unfortunately, sometimes your temperature raises a little bit too much, and then you end up kind of dead.
That's the problem.
Or kind of zombified.
Yeah.
Or zombified, right?
So, Chef Dennis, what marinade would you put on a good slice of zombie meat?
Well, it's since it's dead, that means it's decaying, so it's going to be nice and tender already.
Yes.
So that's like aging. So they're like aging the meat as they walk for us.
Hey, that's a new way to think about it. It's like a walking butcher shop.
There you go. So, instead of chicken fingers, we would just have human fingers. It'd be the new post-apocalyptic Happy Meal,
And Chef Dennis, how about in terms of fighting to survive, fighting against the zombies? I know you have a martial arts background.
Yeah, well, I think at that point I'd have to go with Michon, and I'd have to find myself a good blade. And when I did study that for a little while, they taught us 2 cuts. One was to sever the head, and the other was to split the body in half. So I think I'd be right there.
You got the perfect lessons for a zombie apocalypse. I'm glad to hear that they knew the essentials.
Yep. They weren't messing around. This wasn't let's just cut them to wound. It was get it over quick.
That's exactly what you want, right? How about you, Dennis, too? What are your zombie survival powers?
Well, first I want to say I've heard zombie tastes like chicken.
That actually makes sense.
Second, my biggest zombie skills would be to get all the zombies together in a room and figure out what their branding is and then produce an HOA for them. Oh, wait, we're not trying to help the zombies. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Basically, I have none, and I have spent absolutely, let's see, in my entire life, I've probably spent about 2.5 hours thinking about zombies, and that's all since this show started.
Yes, we're to blame for having converted Cheryl to zombie fan, right?
Yes, and I watched 2 episodes in the however many 3 seasons that she watched. I sat through 2 of them.
Well, you'll be in the zombie bait category with me, probably.
Yeah, there is a reason why Cheryl and David Amerland have not invited me to their team.
Your own wife hasn't invited you to her zombie team.
Just saying.
Well, usually in zombie fiction, most of what you see is the man being badass to protect the woman. It's possible that in your house that might be quite an opposite scenario. Is that right?
That would be rather normal, actually, in our household. When I feel bad, I need her to sit and listen to me, and she needs me to fix it. So, yeah.
Aw, I love you both. That's wonderful. So, but you know what you could do? We could, you and I could probably produce a hell of a show for all the survivors if we could get a way to broadcast it out.
We could entertain the heck out of them.
And you know what? When are they going to get to that on Walking Dead? Everybody must be so freaking bored when they're not fighting zombies.
I know!
What do you expect that they're going to do? They're going to take the already dead zombies and perform a distasteful marionette show?
I like that idea. I am definitely up on that idea.
Chef Dennis, if we get a radio broadcast or something going, you want in on that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We
gotta keep you on the airwaves.
Yeah, and as for women fighting zombies, wasn't Resident Evil's chief person there, Mila Jovovich, and she's a badass zombie.
Oh yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I've actually only seen one of those movies so far, but you're absolutely right. She was insane.
Oh yeah.
I thought she was going to be another damsel in distress, but she was quite the opposite. She was the least in distress person in that movie.
Yeah. There's always been something very special about a beautiful woman who's that dangerous.
Yes.
It's like, I'm not sure if you've seen this movie, but it's not a zombie movie, but The Long Kiss Goodnight with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
It's almost like the same thing as Resident Evil. She thinks she's just like this normal housewife, and all of a sudden she starts to realize that she has these skills that are not normal for a person to have, and she goes from being the damsel in distress to being the hero. It's really awesome. I love those kinds of transitions. And And Resident Evil actually does it pretty well. I won't actually spoil Resident Evil for you, Carolyn, but she gets more intense than the first movie.
Yeah. I believe it. I completely believe it. I mean, just the trajectory that she was on there. And it's nice to see, honestly, because in other movies, especially like action-adventure movies, you usually see the reverse. You'll see an otherwise capable female character who pretty much seems to have her stuff together at the beginning of the movie, and by halfway through, as soon as whoever the hero is shows up, she turns into a complete idiot. So and she can't handle herself at all. So it's good to see those see movies like that where it's not always the case.
Yes. And as far as female heroes go, she's not one who's depending on other attributes to be famous.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely right. Let's say hi to some of the folks in the audience. Cheryl's trying to keep a secret from Dennis. Keeps you around for the bait factor. You okay with that, Dennis?
Do I have a choice?
Probably not. Probably not, but I imagine it's not...
Cheryl had another one too here.
Can't eat shake and bake ever again. Yeah. Can't ruin that.
It's like the General Tso's chicken over here. Like I tell you, I can eat it the first day, but the second day it's pretty obvious that it's cat.
Yes. Lance Fields is here. He was on the show last week, and it was great to have him. He says, "Oh, my zombie, I am crying. I am laughing so much right now. We're having a good time here, too." Wayne Nix is here. Dennis, are you saying that we're all zombies? I can't quite remember.
I'm not sure. Yeah. We're all zombies. Sure.
Zombies are people. Or we got Johnny saying zombies are people too.
Now, I'm probably the only one that remembers that the zombies were people because there was a band called the Zombies in the 60s.
I actually didn't know that. Were they like a number one, like one-hit wonder kind of thing? Or
actually, they had about 4. Tell Her No. She's Not There, and they're still playing. They're pretty good. And then they had a break off with a band called Argent afterwards, where the keyboard guy went off and became pretty well known for Hold Your Head Up and God Gave Rock and Roll to Us. Pretty cool hits. But yeah, the zombies were pretty kicking back then, and they're still playing.
I think we may have to try to track down one of their songs and see if maybe there's a copyright lapse or something that would allow us to use a song from them as a theme song.
Hey, Carolyn and Greg, maybe you and I and Christine could co-produce a bandwidth with the zombies.
Oh, man. If we can make that happen, I would be right there.
Well, do you remember the Alan Parsons Project, any of you?
I do.
Okay, Cullen Blumstone sang on some of those albums, and he was their lead singer.
Oh.
I think I was the lead singer, yeah.
Mia is announcing that Bob Voss does not approve General Tso's chicken. So, Greg, next time you don't want to order that when we're working, just you can call that on me.
Yep. Non-Bob Voss approved cuisine.
Let's hope that's not happened. That's not what happened to his leg. That he made General Tso's chicken out of it.
Oh no! Oh no! And tripod.
Tripod Bob, no. We love him. We love our tripod Bob for sure, and I know a lot of us are developing plans for our pets too. For that zombie escape scenario as well. I know, Greg, do you want to speak to your plan for escaping with Hartley?
Well, I was thinking about different types of vehicles, and one of them was actually just a motorcycle with a sidecar, so that way Jen and Hartley could fit in the sidecar. But then I was thinking that it might actually be better to have the sidecar as a tow behind for the motorcycle. That way we can squeeze through smaller spaces, and then we could just dome off the motorcycle and the sidecar like the Pope-mobile with bulletproof glass, so that way zombies can't get us as we're trying to get around.
Now, I got to ask a question. If it came between Jen and Hartley, and you could only take one.
Oh, it's Jen, hands down. And mostly the reason for that is because, well, she's been with me forever, and so you can't turn your back on that. But also, lifespan is just it's far greater than the dog's.
Okay.
So unfortunately, the choice is the dog would have to go in that instance. But it wouldn't be an option. I would take them both. I'm the kind of guy that even if it doesn't look like a possibility, if I want it to happen, I'm gonna make it happen, or I'm gonna die trying.
Now, speaking of dogs and of Resident Evil, do you think that dogs would be infected by the zombie virus and become the the crazy-looking zombie dogs like we saw in that movie, the first movie? Or do you think they would be unaffected? Because I've also read that mythology too, that animals would not necessarily be affected by the zombie virus.
Hey, whichever is the case, I have two separate plans for Law Louie.
Okay.
Okay, so if he's gonna get infected, I don't want him anywhere around. He's way too big. At 130 pounds, yeah, I don't need him trying to eat me. Not good.
Yeah, your dog is a giant. He might take you down, right?
He might, yes.
Chef Dennis, how about you? What do you think?
I'm tending to think not. Usually animals in most of the scenarios aren't affected. They just end up dying off because there's no people to take care of them, or they just get caught up in it. And the zombies tend to eat them too. So.
Right.
Yeah, they do. Would you try to take Lucy with you?
Oh, absolutely. She would never stay behind. I don't care how old and broken she is,
Yeah.
I didn't hear the end of it from Lisa either, so.
I think that's part of the reason why Greg would never leave the dog behind.
Oh, no way.
Never hear the end of it from Jen.
He's one of my best friends. We already have a deal. If Jen leaves me, I keep the dog.
Well, that's just your strategy for picking up women.
That's also a strategy to not have Jen leave me.
Yes, of course. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's have the audience vote on one or two more zombie hypotheticals to go into. I think some of the ideas that Greg and I had tossed around at different points were zombie yetis, zombie Loch Ness monster. What else?
Zombie Bigfoot.
Yeah, that was the Yeti.
Zombie Spider-Man. Pretty much any superhero. If a Spider-Man bit a zombie, does the zombie become a zombified Spider-Man?
So, audience, we're calling on you. Toss a few nominations out there. What do you want to hear us discuss?
Zombie aliens. Is that like from the movie Aliens? Cheryl Deuce?
Or are you talking about like Mexicans crossing the border?
Definitely would be two different answers.
Well, see, that's really the only case that I would support a wall between America and Mexico is if they were zombies. Those are the types of illegal aliens I really don't want in this country.
Oh, yeah.
And we just learned from Arrested Development, Greg, didn't we? Don't get a Mongol horde to build your wall.
Yes, don't get a Mongol horde to build your wall. If you've seen Arrested Development, which honestly, the first however many seasons up until Netflix picks it up are pretty horrible. They're really not that great, or at least my opinion. But this last season, this last season was amazing.
I don't know. We found the first few seasons of Arrested Development a little hard to get into. There are parts of it that are just too awkward for words, and that's me talking. I understand awkward. I speak the language of awkward.
Okay, they are awkward. That's true.
Well, let's see. We're pretty much running on time here, so we're probably gonna go a little bit over. But we wanted to talk about.
Let's talk zombie aliens for a second before we go into the announcements.
Okay.
Zombie
Okay.
Canadian.
Per Cheryl's request.
I thought we did talk about zombie aliens. We talked
Well, we
about
didn't talk
zombie
about how you-
Mexicans.
How about the other kind of alien? I'll say that.
Well, that all depends on what type of aliens we're talking about. If we're talking about, from the movie Alien.
Oh, here we go. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about zombie Canadians. Dennis.
Zombie Canadians.
That's me.
Dan and me. Dennis, Deuce, and I are the zombie Canadians. We will probably eat your brains, but it will be the nicest it will ever happen.
It's going to be something like, hey, would you mind if I eat your brains?
I'm sorry if this hurts. Sorry.
Sorry, eh? Okay.
Sorry.
I got some
How about
beer.
this? How about this?
All right,
Let's
where's
talk
the
about-
back bacon on this one, eh?
Yes.
I thought you said bacon, and I was going to say, that would really go good with zombie. A little bacon.
I
Zombie
did. I
bacon.
said back bacon, which is just ham, fried ham.
Yes, if Mystique got bit by a zombie, shape-shifting zombies, that's kind
Oh
of
my
scary.
god, that's terrifying.
You know,
That's-
as a Canadian, I've got to say that one of our most famous dishes kind of looks like it was made by zombies.
Are you talking about poutine?
I sure am. It's not good stuff, but it just looks like zombie stew.
Oh my god.
And perhaps if we went across the pond, a little haggis. You never knew it hit them.
Oh, that looks like the stuff that comes out of zombies.
Oh.
Some haggis, Carl.
Oh, how about this? Let's do Loch Ness Monster real quick.
Loch Ness Monster.
Zombie Great Danes.
Zombie great. Hey! Look who stopped by.
It's a horse.
It's a horse.
Of
My horse
course.
stopped by to say hi.
If you've seen Parks and Rec, it's Little Sebastian.
He's wanting to play with the laser. And I actually wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Never
you
done that on an
actually
HOA
can
before.
shine it into.
Huh?
You can shine it onto the HOA.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one from Craig Burton just put up. If Hannibal Lecter was a zombie, would he become vegetarian?
That's a good one. Good one, Craig. Yes. Oh my goodness, that would potentially be terrifying if it only amplified. Oh my god.
You need to leave out the fava beans.
I think the one thing I will say about a zombie Loch Ness monster is that it would definitely make it inadvisable to take to the sea, as per the option we've discussed before, which otherwise I would say would be a good idea. I mean, your ship would be down probably pretty fast.
Right.
Well, one thing, everybody would see him. It wouldn't be those chance sightings. I think he'd be out and about. Or Canada, oot and a boot.
I think that's close to how they'd say it in Scotland, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a tourist thing anymore either.
No, I don't think so. I think it would get pretty rough. You would spend a lot of time avoiding that area.
Right.
And oh my gosh, they might even come up with a response like, has anyone seen on Netflix that there's that terrible looking movie, Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark? Yeah, go look it up. I mean, it's literally a giant shark fighting a giant mechanical shark. Apparently, it's like a third sequel or something like that too.
Yeah.
It looks
And
pretty
each
bad.
movie cost $5,700 to produce, probably, it sounds like.
Probably about that. Yeah.
The movie was so bad.
Did you make it through the whole thing, Greg?
No, I couldn't.
I thought Ginger Snaps was the worst movie I ever saw.
Ginger
Snaps.
See that? No? Oh, well, okay. I won't spoil it for you if you get a chance, though.
That sounds like a potentially
hardly wait.
X-rated movie.
They did make a sequel, too, so it wasn't.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. Oh goodness. I guess we'll. I guess now's probably a good time to start to wind down. We had a couple of announcements. Let's do the non-zombie related one first. Dennis. Dennis, too. Do you want to talk about why I'm wearing this shirt tonight?
Yes, for the same reason I have these lovely shoes, which you can buy online this week. Right here. Stay tuned. The pictures will be up tomorrow. We're going to have an auction all week on these and Greg Trujillo's shoes, as well as Wednesday night at 7:02. I will be walking a mile in those shoes live with Carolyn and Greg on an HOA.
Good luck with that. It's rough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully we can keep, internet connection. Oh, apparently I'm wearing shorts. I guess the bids have gotten high enough for me to wear shorts. Supposedly, the higher the bid, the higher the leg line. Anyway.
How high does the bid have to go to get you in fishnets?
And yeah, how much more to shave? Shaved with fishnets.
Shaved with fishnets is going to be expensive. Start putting in the bids, and anything might be possible. Our big kickoff event is tomorrow night on Craftstar with Lance, who is in the audience. He'll be on that show. And then next Sunday, we are going to actually do the closing auction, taking bids on mine and Greg's shoes, and everything goes to Carolyn. Where's it going?
Harbor House of Central Florida, which is a local organization, fantastic nonprofit that works here locally. You probably have an organization near you that hopefully does similar good work. And what I love most about them is that they really do focus on bringing the whole family into a place of safety. We talk a lot on this show about getting to places that are safe, but for some people it really is a day-to-day concern, zombies or no zombies. So Harbor House is a place that you may be able to fortify in a zombie apocalypse, and that more importantly in real life, day-to-day invites people to bring their pets. They can bring their kids. The place is it's a fully staffed shelter. And they have an on-site kennel and an on-site licensed daycare, and it's the only place in the state of Florida that has that. So it's a cause that's very near and dear to me and Greg, and we've invited Dennis Deuce in, and Dennis Littley has been wonderful and gracious in letting us talk about this on his show as well. So we hope that you'll be able to join us for one or all of the events, and definitely get those bids in so that we can see Dennis Deuce in some really, really awesome get-up on the show.
Get those bids in. This is part of a bigger plan Greg, Carolyn, and I are working on. So please help us sell these for as much as possible, because we believe we've cracked the nut on how to use Google Plus and HOAs to both promote and raise funds at the same time for charities. And this is really just a trial run. The more we sell these shoes for, the more charities we're going to be able to help in the future. So please, make me wear something ugly.
And I'm sure he's taking nominations too. So we'll make sure to leave the links to these events in the show links afterwards, so that you can take a look and get involved if you like. But back to the zombie announcement. From now, so we sat down and we did the math on how long it is until our favorite zombie show comes back. Greg and I have started this show partly because we were suffering withdrawals after Walking Dead ended the last season, and we took a deep breath, and after we've had a great last 6 shows, had a really good time talking with you all, and now we're actually going to start our long lead up to when Walking Dead comes back in October. And what we're going to do is we're going to start taking on themes from Walking Dead episodes from here until the start of the show. So we're going to be watching 1 to 2 episodes a week, and pulling some notes together about the themes from the episodes. And we're going to be inviting our guests to watch the show as well if they want. and to join us for the discussions of the themes from the episodes and how they would handle those situations were they in the characters' shoes. So episodes 1 and 2 from season 1 are going to be up first next week. Not sure yet who our guests are going to be. We're still locking that down, but definitely watch for the announcement of the show coming up soon. And Dennis and Dennis, thank you both so much for being here. We hope you'll both come back. Chef Dennis, I think we might have more to talk about, not only with cooking options, but also foraging for food and more. And Dennis Deuce, you're always welcome. Zombie bait, I need company every now and then. And maybe if we're bait together, we'll all get stronger. So, all right.
Well, before we go, just make sure that you catch us tomorrow night. Me, Carolyn, and Dennis Deuce will be on The Craft Star with Mark Seidel and Lance Fields at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
And Lance put the link in the show notes. Thanks, Lance.
Lovely. Thank you, Lance. All right. Well, I guess it's 8:40, so that's our time bell for tonight. And I hope that you all have a great evening. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.